butt chugging, talking tuna sandwiches, and a reminder never to go looking for old pictures of Grandpa. Gen V is back for its sophomore season, and I can definitely say,
it's transtastic!
This is an insane deep dive into the show, theories, and how it all connects to the greater boys universe. There will be no comic spoilers, and I've saved my trailer sleuthing section till the end of the video, but I'll give you a warning before we head into that. Now before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe so my parents will stop saying,
"What you're doing is stupid and useless."
The season begins with an ode to Chance Perdomo, the actor who played Andre Anderson, who tragically passed away in a motorcycle accident mere weeks before season 2 was set to film. In fact, the entire season had been written with him in it and was subsequently rewritten after his passing. The year 1967 is 2 years after Godolkin University was founded by Ariana Grande's boyfriend Thomas Godolkin and Frederick Vought. Entertainment Weekly hints that the boys' spin-off series, Vought Rising, will have ties to the 1960s and a Project Odessa, a top-secret Vought research program that forms the central mystery of Season 2. Odessa was first mentioned in a memo located in Homelander's childhood research lab, and the name is a nod to the post-World War II network that helped Nazis escape Allied hands. We already know Frederick Vought and Stormfront's ties to the Nazi Party, and later in episode 202 we'll see this hidden vault filled with Nazi paraphernalia, but more on that in a bit. The two closest people in Vaught's life would arguably be his wife Stormfront and business partner Thomas Godolkin. Now, did production purposely cast two Jewish people in these roles as a big FU to Nazis, or could there be a deeper plot reason that will soon be revealed? You'll notice that Thomas Godolkin isn't even a part of this secret meeting where 5 other scientists inject themselves with what appears to be Compound V. He would have likely been the head scientist of this project. Why wasn't he there? I'm curious whether or not the show will provide us with more flashbacks. Why is Godolkin not with them? Did they go behind his back? We also don't know where exactly this research facility is. Both the fire extinguisher and Godolkin's badge indicate a Vought American lab, but it remains to be seen if this transpires at Godolkin or not. It likely is at Godolkin, considering Starlight tells Marie she believes Odessa was the very reason Godolkin U was founded in the first place. The security badge also indicates months in which Godolkin was given access to this lab, so we can see for about 5 months of the year he's not at this particular facility. The rogue scientists are brutally killed by the effects of the drug. I mean, there's a small chance Godolkin could be pulling a Victoria Newman and doing this himself, but I find that unlikely. The last we see him, he passes out before reaching the fire alarm, leaving the possibility he survived the incident. As of episode 203, we don't know when or how Godolkin died, but there's one image in the trailer sleuthing section that I think gives us an answer. Also, banger choice to have Frankie Valli's Can't Keep My Eyes Off of You, a song that not only came out the same year this scene takes place, but accentuates Vaught's surveillance and control over Supes. Fast forward to present day, the events of which take place roughly 7 months after The Boys Season 4. Here we get an update on Starlight and former President Robert Singer. At the end of The Boys Season 4, Starlight escaped captivity and remains on the run. Singer, however, is arrested after Sister Sage leaks footage of him ordering the death of Victoria Newman. But we're not here for politics, it's time to start a new year at God-U. And boy have things changed since the explosive finale of Season 1. After it was revealed Dean Indira Shetty was conducting experiments on students to create a soup-killing virus, God-U has a new dean at the helm. This is Cipher, played by Hamish Linklater, and if you haven't seen him in Midnight Mass, stop everything and go watch that. Cipher is actually one of the big mysteries of this season, both in terms of what his powers actually are and what his real purpose at God-U is. We know that he's a soup, but the first 3 episodes offer us very little in terms of what his powers are. He doesn't seem too worried about Cate, even threatening to mangle her remaining good hand in a blender. And can we talk about this chicken milk and mystery liquid smoothie? Does he just have terrible taste in smoothies, or does he require this as part of his power? In the trailer sleuthing section, there's a clue that hints at what his power might actually be. The name Cipher is also quite interesting. In Arabic, it means a zero or nobody. To decipher means to succeed in understanding something, which might explain his obsession with unlocking his students' powers, something he refers to as leveling up. But what is he really at Godolkin to do? most likely to continue Project Odessa. In episode 203, Marie finds out that she was a part of this program and Cipher was deeply involved, although Marie's Aunt Pam refers to him as Dr. Gold. I don't know about you, but Gold sounds awfully close to Godolkin. Could he be Thomas Godolkin's son, continuing his father's work? The only other piece of information we get about his past is that he spent a couple of years at the Vought Mexico City office. Considering there's a Boys Mexico spin-off in development, which is apparently set in Mexico City, we might just have our first crossover character. As of now, there are a few leading theories on what Project Odessa really is. One is that it's a program to control Supes. Godolkin was a behavioral scientist after all. It could also be to create and train the next Homelander. Cipher is obsessed with the school rankings and pushing his students to their limits to unlock their potential. Or maybe it's Vought's own eugenics program. Vought himself was a Nazi geneticist, and we all know what the Nazis thought about a superior race. We know that Vought experimented with creating the perfect soup using Soldier Boy's sperm and a yet-to-be-revealed mother as Homelander's biological parents. I don't believe Vought's story that his mom was a random runaway who conveniently died after childbirth. The most insane theory is that Homelander's mother is his former lover, Stormfront. Soldier Boy and Stormfront, who at the time went by the name Liberty, founded Herogasm together, and it's highly implied they hooked up.
Me and this other soup, Liberty, man, was she a firecracker.
Marie's blood powers also tie closely to this eugenics theory, as blood is often used as a metaphor for heredity, the basics of eugenics. While Project Odessa continues under the hood at God.U, some other big changes have taken place. The school has officially become segregated with human and non-human security lines, and the episodes really capture the increasing tension between Supes and non-Supes. A lot has happened since we last left our gang in this holding tank after the events of Season 1. Andre, Emma, Jordan, and Marie were framed for the Godolkin University massacre and subsequently sent to the Elmira Adult Rehabilitation Center, Vought's so-called adult facility for troubled Supes, which acts as a max security Supe prison. While we don't see what actually happened during their time there, two important things occurred. One, Marie was able to escape, leaving behind the others, something Jordan isn't too pleased about, and two, Andre's brain suffered a series of neural micro-tears while attempting to move a giant steel door in his escape attempt, resulting in his death. With Marie MIA and Andre passed away, Cate makes a deal with Cipher to allow Jordan and Cate back on campus, with a report known as the Godolkin Commission finding former Dean Indira Shetty at fault for this massacre and painting Jordan and Emma as heroes. The whole thing is done in true Vought fashion, with a giant press junket that looks like it could be from a movie premiere. With them is head of student life, Stacy Ferreira, and when she said this about getting stabbed by her stinger,
Would hate for that thing to get set off. You'd die a horrible death. And I would too.
I was like, you could pretty much guarantee that stinger will kill someone this season.
Watch the stinger! Hey, do you want to die? Neither do I.
Jordan recognizes Cipher from their time in Elmira, so not only does he have ties to Odessa, but to the very facility that imprisoned them. If Odessa ever needed test subjects, this prison would be the perfect place to take them from. At a Vought Petroleum Station, we get our first look at Marie Moreau on the run. One of my favorite parts of this show is the attention to detail in the props and sets, from things like firecracker freedom sticks, Brave May bars, and Vought Fresh Farms trail mix. Remember that Black Noir massacred an entire Indonesian fishing village so that Vought Fresh Farms could expand its palm oil operations.
That is the Vought Fresh Farms promise.
Marie is on the lookout for her sister, Annabeth. The last we saw her was the day Marie accidentally murdered her parents, and during Marie's interview with Haley Miller last season, she's told that Annabeth wants nothing to do with her. Also, Sam and Cate have been in a movie for Vought Studios called Flipped, and if you thought Netflix prices were bad, it's $39.99 for the VOD. Even though Marie is supposed to be keeping a low profile, she can't help but lend a hand to those in need, as a group of Starlighters are harassed by a group of home teamers. It's this attack that will later alert Emma and Jordan to Marie's whereabouts. Notice the Tony Cicero's poster in the background. It was an abandoned Tony Cicero's where the boys brought Translucent back in Season 1, and where Butcher woke up after nearly being killed by Homelander in episode 202. There's also a blast stain remover pushed by Firecracker, a take on Tide. Emma tracks down Andre's father, Polarity, who's been told through friends at Vought of his son's death. Emma's come to enlist his help to find find out the connection between Godolkin's new dean and Elmira, but Polarity is too fraught with grief and ushers her out of the house. We'll later see him shaking, which could mean his seizures from season 1 might come into play, especially if he starts using his powers. Bonus points if you saw the La Zona 51 or Area 51 Polarity movie poster in the background. Fresh on Marie's heels is Dogknott, a Vought-owned bounty hunter who, in The Boys, was once even considered in the running to be a member of the Seven.
I thought he ate a dog.
He ate out a dog. It's a big difference.
His dog-sniffing powers make him like a super-powered Dog the Bounty Hunter. Back at Godolkin, it's rush week at Gamma Epsilon Delta, or G.E.D for short, a fraternity once helmed by the Deep. It's here we meet the butt chugger whose name is Black Hole. Justine, who outed Emma's eating disorder in season 1, asked her to come on her podcast, Just Justine, and to make matters worse, she's now dating Sam, Emma's former love interest, until Sam decided to massacre the school. Sam wants a truce, but Emma's not having it, especially since her incarceration led to Andre's death, something Sam has no knowledge of. This revelation will cause Sam to crash out, asking Cate to suppress his emotions. There's gotta be a better way of dealing with your feelings. Back at the motel, Marie is attacked by Dogknott but saved by Starlight, who, like Marie, is also on the run. She mentions a source that says Project Odessa is starting back up, and they need Marie's help to find out what exactly it is. Starlight says we need to stop it, but never elaborates on who we is. Is that grammatically correct? At the end of The Boys season 4, the boys are more fractured than ever. Kimiko, Frenchie, Huey, and MM are all caught, Butcher's doing his own thing, and Starlight's on the run. Since 7 months have passed, we don't know if Starlight's been able to break anyone out. Marie refuses to help, but will later change her mind when she finds out about Andre's death. Cate stumbles upon Marie's meeting with Emma and Jordan, and when she finds out that Marie's been in contact with Starlight, tries to wipe her memory for her own good. But Jordan blasts her, resulting in some serious brain trauma that will have her lose her power. The extent of this loss isn't quite known. Has she lost it for good, or will she get them back? And the stakes are pretty high, as Cipher bluntly puts it,
"Your value in this world comes and goes with your powers, and without them, you are nothing."
Returning to Godolkin is Marie's best move, and the start of 202 sees her back on campus. A lot of the rift between her and Jordan hinges on her abandonment, but Marie says she would have never left if she had known what Andre would do. Then there's the awkward meeting with the dean who, if it were up to Marie, would have his throat ripped out. We learn that Cate will survive Jordan's attack, and there's this ominous undertone that Cipher knows it was Marie and the crew who were responsible for this attack. Cipher also hands over Andre's medical files, which seems like a very odd thing to do, especially considering he's a doctor himself. It's very possible that these files are doctored, pun intended, and that there's more to Andre's death than what we've been told. At the hospital, I love the addition of Cate's prosthetic hand. This girl has really not had a good year. She hasn't lost all her power, as we'll see her compel one of the nurses to attack the other. Back at Godolkin, Polarity has taken up a new position as Associate Dean of Marketing. This is all a ploy to get close to Godolkin and Cipher in an effort to find the truth about his son's death. Big Chief Apache's Center for Diversity and Equity has been retrofitted into Cipher's training facility for Hero Optimization class. Big Chief Apache was first seen at the Legends Place, and his famous anti-litter PSA can be seen during a montage at V52. It's all a spoof on the Keep America Beautiful ad from the 1970s, where it was later found out that the actor portraying the Native American was actually Italian. This might explain why Big Chief Apache's costume is later found in the secret Godolkin archives, and that in the Boys universe he was actually portrayed by a white supremacist. Cipher's handpicked the greatest Supes at Godolkin for this class, and unfortunately Emma hasn't made the cut. Don't worry girl, you're still #1 in my heart.
Pew, 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 pew.
The purpose of this class is to push these students to the edge to unlock their powers and really find out how their abilities work. And this class is not for the faint-hearted. We're introduced to Vikor, a Thor-inspired Supe, whose mighty hammer just pummels the shit out of the students. Like, does this guy survive? It's almost as if Vikor targets Marie, and I can't help but think this is all a test for Cipher to gauge Marie's abilities, a woman he'll later go on to say might be the strongest Supe ever to come out of Godolkin. And knowing that he delivered Marie only adds to the mystery of his character and his true intentions with her. Emma links up with Polarity now that he's all on board with getting to the truth. They'll start at the Godolkin University archives, hoping to find any information they can on Thomas Godolkin and Project Odessa. Luckily, Emma's a huge fan of Kyle the Librarian's show, The Rememberer, which was cancelled by former Vought CEO Madeline Stillwell. He grants them access to the archives, which contained over 76,000 items. But finding anything that mentions Odessa is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. That is until they discover a secret room that would make Nick Fuentes blush. Aside from all the blatant Nazi paraphernalia, there are some items I want to point out. Here's a bullet from the JFK assassination, which might suggest Vought or Godolkin had something to do with his murder, a photo of Vought himself, and a Thomas Godolkin filing cabinet. But what about this weird photo of 4 clan members in superhero-style trunks and belts? It suggests that the superhero movement is one that has its roots in white supremacy. Emma finds a file on Project Odessa. In it are 25 birth certificates of deceased children, all of them deceased except for Marie Moreau, who Emma believes is Project Odessa. Even weirder is the fact there's no information on how all these others died. Really, all this does is muddy the waters on what exactly Odessa is. Is it Marie? Is it a weapon? Or could it be both? Outside on campus, students celebrate the death of Cate's attacker. Vought has framed the young Starlighter Marie saved in episode 201 as a mentally ill thug who reached for his gun to take down Dogknott. It's all a commentary on how the media is weaponized to enrage the masses. We'll see human workers like Tess Galloway here face increasing hostility from Supe students, especially after a mysterious Supe keeps posting Starlighter resist posters on the Jitterbean corkboard. In her file, Marie finds a photo of her parents and Aunt Pam. Perhaps this aunt might be able to shed some light on what the hell is going on. I found it a bit weird that Marie clarifies this is not her biological aunt. It feels as though there must be a plot reason to include this bit of information. Like, why not have it be her blood relative? I also love this Opposites Attract movie poster starring Polarity, a gag on his power of magnetism. Cate returns to Godolkin and visits Cipher. His residence has this strange vault. If you stick around to my trailer sleuthing section, I think I know what's behind it. While preparations are underway for Thomas Godolkin Day, Jordan is informed they've just been ranked #1, which includes all sorts of perks like a new car, V-Pad, VS5, and Black Noir laptop. It's all an attempt to get Jordan to play ball and do what the administration says. Meanwhile, Emma goes on her own investigation trying to find out who's been posting those resist posters and graffiti. When she finds fellow student Harper with yellow spray paint on her hands, she knows she's the culprit. All we've really known about Harper is that she has a tail.
You're a mimic? I thought your power was... tail.
But it turns out she's a mimic and can copy another person's power for 60 seconds as long as she touches them. This opens up a lot of potential going forward. Harper's been working with another student by the name of Allie in creating anti-Homelander and anti-fascist propaganda. Emma wants to up their game. Instead of minor vandalism, she wants sabotage. I'm also curious what Allie's power is. My guess is that it has something to do with cats. She has cat plushies on the couch, she has this cat-like eyeliner, her roommate is also someone with a tail, and her name is Allie, like an alley cat. But hey, maybe that's all bullshit because I'm an insane person. With Cate's powers unable to suppress Sam's emotions, he totally crashes out. Thankfully, Jordan is there to smack some sense into him, and the two end up bonding over some Avenue V. Both of them want to forget all the death that's been around them, and this talk is eventually what spurs Jordan to confess their love to Marie, knowing that at any moment your life could be taken away. Marie's meeting with Aunt Pam is a bit cold and standoffish. Marie learns that she was conceived at a fertility clinic at Godolkin, one that was overseen by Cipher, aka Dr. Gold. It's implied that Marie was conceived with some sort of IVF, which suggests Vought intervention. Oddly enough, Marie's younger sister Annabeth didn't require IVF or a fertility clinic, which hints that Annabeth is unlikely to have powers like her sister. Also possible is that they aren't biological siblings at all. While visiting the bathroom, Marie uncovers Annabeth's room. Pam was afraid to tell her that Annabeth lived here, stating they both feared Marie for what she did to her parents. But Marie is right to be angry. She never asked to be experimented on, and her parents parents' death wasn't her fault, so she leaves her aunt basically telling her to have Annabeth contact her. At the Godolkin Day ceremony, Jordan, the #1 ranked student, goes off their transtastic script to reveal to the world Vought's involvement in Andre's death and covering up Cate's attack, going so far as to admit to being Cate's attacker. The speech is met with boos and calls of being a traitor, but what exactly will the fallout be? Certainly Jordan will no longer be #1, but what punishment will they face? Will they be sent back to Elmira, or will Cipher find a way to cover this all up and Jordan will merely get a slap on the wrist? To find out what we might be in store for, join me in the trailer sleuthing section where we take a look at this season's trailers to see where the story might be headed. Later we'll see Marie in what appears to be one-on-one classes with Cipher, further hinting his deep interest in her. Part of her training involves this goat, which she'll levitate by manipulating the goat's blood. There's even a hint that she could be more powerful than Homelander. In the trailer, this goat will explode, but look at Marie's surprised look. Was it Cipher who did this? Does he also have the ability to manipulate blood like her? Here we have Marie collared up at Elmira where subjects receive injections. At first I thought these could be flashbacks, but considering we'll later see Cate here, my guess is that they're taken back later in the season. We'll also get this shot of Marie in her prisoner outfit with a woman behind her who I believe is her sister Annabeth. She doesn't have prisoner robes or a collar, which suggests she doesn't have powers. This shot shows the veins in Cipher's neck, meaning either Marie is doing something to him or this is part of his power. An octagon-style UFC tournament is set up where Marie must take on Jordan. This is all likely a ploy by Cipher to, quote, level up their abilities. And judging by Marie's look here, this might be the first time she realizes she can levitate someone with her powers. Polarity here using his powers to intimidate Cipher, but Cipher takes the knife and stabs his own hand. Could part of his power be that he feels no pain? Or perhaps he can make others see things that didn't really happen. Cipher here with a familiar face, Sister Sage. What could the world's smartest human want with Cipher? These security cameras show what appears to be Elmira. Vicor here using his hammer to hunt down Cate, Jordan, Marie, and Marie's sister at an abandoned daycare. Maybe it's the fertility clinic. Here we have Marie holding on to Polarity's hand. He's going into convulsions like he experienced in season 1. Perhaps he used his powers to try and open Cipher's vault door, causing more micro tears in his brain. And here Marie's trying to save him. We were given a glimpse of this vault door in episode 203, but what I really want to talk about is this machine, particularly this shot of what appears to be a burned head. Could this be Thomas Godolkin, who burned in the fire and Cipher is keeping him alive or preserved in this machine? Could it be Stormfront, who was also burned and whose death never actually happened on screen? Polarity will also use his powers to burst into hero optimization class. The events of the season all seem to culminate around Cipher, his connection to Odessa, and Andre's death. But now I turn it over to you. What did you think of the first 3 episodes, and what do you think will happen next? I want to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...
We'll just have to tune in next week to find out, won't we?